Friends, look at it. You can see the whole world from up here. Up there, look, you can see where we're going.
So we just stay here because we got a great big view already.
Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to my latest bad idea. We are here at the, Rachel says it's a true story. We're here at the base of, what is this, North Fork Mountain Trail?
Yeah.
The trailhead starts just over there. We're just outside of Cabins, West Virginia, and if you're looking for a more family-friendly thing to do around here, we just did the Smoke Hole Caverns tour, which was great, so check out last week's episode for that. But right now, we're going to climb 2,000 feet up this mountain with our two small kids. Sarah's going to walk it herself, hopefully, but we may have to morally support her and mentally drag her up this mountain. And yeah, we're going to tell you if we make it, if we don't, if it's a good idea, bad idea. But All Trails says it's a really difficult trail. It's a lot more difficult than what I had originally planned on doing today, but this is what we got. So yeah, let's hit the trail. Do you have any last words?
I'm gonna turn on the All Trails. We just got the All Trails Premium.
So we downloaded the map so we can do things off without internet.
Yeah, because I like having maps. We've been in too many situations without cell phone service and no maps, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, so we don't want to do that today. We want to hike the shortest distance possible, so we don't need to be backtracking. This is 2.5 miles up to the top, 2,000 feet in elevation, and then of course 2 miles back down-ish. So we're starting here. This is, I believe, the beginning of the actual trail, so if you want a good backpacking experience, I've heard some great things about this. I forget exactly the length of it, but it's obviously a long way. Our goal, though, is to come up here, and then there's a spur trail, which should lead us to Chimney Top. So that's the summit that we're hoping to make today, is to Chimney Top. I've heard that it's difficult to find this so-called spur trail, so, you know, we'll do our best to show it to you if we find it. But the All Trails app seems to have that location on there. So I also do have the drone with me, so I'd like to put that up here at some point. But that may depend on the cloud ceiling. It's been raining pretty much non-stop since last night, so it's very foggy, but all that I think is supposed to lift. And it's supposed to be a beautiful afternoon. It's around 1 o'clock right now. We just kind of fueled ourselves up on some Dairy Queen, so we've put some calories in us to hopefully fuel us up this hill.
We have a lot of yellow flowers and just 2 white flowers.
While it has not felt much like spring these past few days, wildflowers are indeed starting to bloom. And yeah, I mean, it was like 20 some degrees when we woke up yesterday morning. Warmer today, because if it was cold this morning, it would have just been snowing. Piles of snow instead of the rain. And the sun is peeking through every so often, and it does bring some warmth to our situation. This trail, at least the North Fork Mountain Trail, is very well marked. Blue triangle blazes, and from what I've read, that is the way it's going to be the whole way up. Very well marked. Shouldn't get lost. It's the spur trail to Chimney Top that, from what I've heard, is not marked hardly at all, and the more difficult to find. So friends, you can see down below through the trees the road that goes over to Smoke Hole and all that stuff. So we're gaining some elevation, that's for sure. I mean, it's all uphill right off the bat. The trail switchbacks several times before we kind of reach a part where it'll just kind of go straight up. So I believe once we get to the end of the switchbacks, we'll be about halfway. Now, there's not much in the way of like scenery or cool stuff to date. It's just kind of a forest like you see around me here with some mountain laurel. The boy is so far climbing up here all on his own, kind of slow, but when you're 2 years old, I don't know, you're full of energy when it's what you want, but not so full of energy when it's what your parents want you to do. But he found a new walking stick, So all the original walking sticks have been returned to their rightful owners. So
We're coming, Daddy.
he says, "We're coming, Daddy." If you start them young doing stuff like this, friends, they get kind of used to it. The problem right now is, we just went through the winter. We haven't done a whole lot lately. We're out of practice with the RV. We're out of practice with hiking. And my plan for this weekend was not to do anything extraordinarily difficult. But here we are doing probably what's going to amount to be one of the toughest trails we've ever done. And we're out of practice. So, yeah, them's the breaks, I guess. There's some, not sure what them trees are that's blooming right over there. It's very pretty. No, it's not a dogwood, but it's kind of similar in like the structure of the tree to a dogwood, but the flowers on it are much smaller. We've arisen here on this knoll that we believe these are all pitch pine up here. As you can tell, there's still no foliage on the deciduous trees, but these pine with the green that's on them are, kind of a sight for sore eyes when you're looking at them against the blue sky. It's very pretty. Friends, we've walked a good long ways actually, and it almost kind of feels like deja vu, like the scenery hasn't changed. We're on top of another knoll full of these pitch pine here, and it looks almost exactly the same as the last one that we were on. But the only difference is up there, look, you can see where we're going. So you're almost somewhere when you can see your destination. As we're walking through here, just thought I would point out this nice sized buck up here somewhere rubbing on this little hemlock tree. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I will film what I can film once the scenery starts to kind of differ a little bit, but for the moment it all looks the same. But we're getting somewhere and the views are starting to appear, although it is quite cloudy at points like right now. I'm hoping some of this might clear out by the time we reach the top, but truly I have very few expectations for this day, and honestly the fact that we've made it this far is an achievement. So yeah, but it would be nice if we could have just a little bit of sunshine when we get to the top, or at least that the wind would die down such that that I could fly the drone a little bit. So we shall see, but we're making progress slowly but surely. We're well past halfway. Yeah, the scenery's, as far as like the hike, still the same. So this is truly a mountain climbing expedition, really, and something that until you get to the top is really not all that special. So we've made it up the first 1,000 feet, and we're really not going all the way to 2,000. It's like 1,800 or something. So what I'm trying to say is we're probably about 2/3 of the way, but I think it gets a lot steeper up towards the top. I don't know that we're all going to make it to the top. In fact, I'd be shocked if we did. We were told there's some very good scenery up ahead, and that's kind of what our goal is. If we don't make it to the top of the summit, that's fine. I just want to get to some views. Friends, we have finally made it to something. Look at this over here. So just down below us is Smoke Hole Caverns, where we were earlier, and you got the river running through here, and then tons of scenery out that way. Right now the clouds are quite low, so it is very hard to see anything. It's extremely windy. It seems to be a little bit of a trend when we climb these mountains, that it's always extraordinarily windy at the top. Sarah and I have made it kind of over here to the edge. Rachel, she's back with Will. He's kind of sleeping, taking a little bit of a cat nap. I think the goal right now is going to be for Sarah and I to climb a little bit higher and see what we can see. So the wind is obviously a hindrance up here, and the clouds being so low. But then now the sun's coming out, so it's kind of an ever-changing weather situation. You don't know what we're going to be able to see climbing higher, but we're going to keep going a little bit. The good news is you only have to come up about 1,000 feet for your first view. You know, and whether you keep going or not, I guess is up to you. But I don't know what you're going to be able to see more as we get up. So we'll keep going. And because I'd like to get some time lapses or something, at least from somewhere here. Up here on the ridge, there's several campsites that backpackers can use as they're hiking this North Fork Mountain Trail.
Daddy, what was that noise? Was that you?
No, that's a crow. There's a whole bunch of crows up here getting kind of blown around in the wind. It's odd, like where I'm standing, like there's no wind. But a few feet over that way, you can probably see it in the trees. It's like absurd how windy it is. And you know, maybe another 10 feet or so above me, Sarah, you be careful. 10 feet or so above me, it's extremely windy.
So we just stay here because we got a great big view already.
Well, we got my hiking partner here, Sarah. She's climbing up the mountain. She's a-making her. I think she's starting to get a little bit cold. The wind up here, that's what stunts the growth of all these pitch pine. And that's why everything up here is so short and looks like it's real young, but it's really not. It's old, it's just stunted. These ridges are just pretty much constantly windy. I was just looking at my compass, and this is westerly wind that's coming this way. I don't remember, if looking at the weather, if it was supposed to be this windy today or not, but it certainly does throw a monkey wrench in things. I'm hoping some of these clouds clear out a little bit. I want to try to get high enough up here where we can see the opposite direction of the way we've been looking. So, and that's kind of the goal at this point. Whether that's the top or not, I don't know. We're only maybe a quarter mile from the top, but I think it's a steep climb to get up there. And who knows with this wind if that's even feasible. So the trail on the, I guess it'd be the east side of the ridgeline, sinks down below the ridge. You can see the ridgeline behind me that way. We're still climbing to the top of Chimney Tops. I think as soon as we get up here just a little bit more, according to all trails, we are very, very close to the top. We should be able to see a good clear view of this direction, facing east. I think from what I understand, it's almost like a 360-degree view, and actually there's no cloud cover over here. Whereas on the west side, there's a ton of cloud cover. So it should be interesting once we get up here, if we make it. We do have to kind of make some time. Once we get up here and start heading back down, I think we're going to have to make time going back the other way. I'm not really sure what Rachel and William are doing, but I would imagine just sitting down there at that first overlook. So friends, one of the most important things to me about getting the kids out doing this sort of thing and getting out on the trail and seeing the natural beauty of the earth is the stuff that they learn along the way. So Sarah has had a big lesson in geology today, starting in the cave where they talked about how the two tectonic plates collided together right here and twisted the cave.
Alright, and if you guys also take a look in front of us right here, you may notice something a little bit different about this rock. So this rock actually runs vertical instead of horizontal, and that's because when the Pangea hit, the tectonic plates collided and actually shifted our cave a full 90 degrees. So if you guys take a look back up at Prairie Dog Station, then you guys can see that 90-degree bend in the rocks. And if you were to imagine what this cave looked like before all this happened, we are now standing on one of the side walls. To the left of us is what used to be the ceiling. Above us was the other side wall. And to the right of us is what used to be the flooring.
But here is on the same fault line, right? Because the cave is just right down there. That's pretty much what's created this area and the beauty of it. So I've enjoyed explaining to her how all this was formed billions of years ago. Friends, we're going to go ahead and assume that this pile of rocks here signifies that we're supposed to go up this spur trail. As soon as we get above the tree line, we're going to stop, take in the view probably, and be done with this charade so we can go back. But I'd really like to get a good view of this side. So that's our plan. We just got a little bit more to go up so we can get above the tree line, and hopefully it ain't windy on this side of the hill. Friends, this spur trail to get to the top, boy, it's steep all the way up. I mean, you can probably see Sarah just down there climbing her way up. She's doing a heck of a good job getting up to the top here. We are so close. So close. I can't wait to show this to you guys. I can't wait to get there and see it and see what we can bring of it up here, man. I'm super stoked because it looks like it's really clear up this direction. And the sun, look, the sun's shining to bring light to this trip that's kind of suffered a little bit because of the wildfire situation. So, man, if we can just get up to the top here and see something cool, and the fact that Sarah's done so well to make it up here, it's just awesome. All right, we'll see you at the top. Friends, look at it. You can see the whole world from up here. You probably can't hear me worth a crap, but this is what you get when you're on top of these ridge lines. I don't dare put up the drone over here. On a clear day that wasn't windy, man, you could see the whole world. And just look over that way. I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not. Look, even Sarah got to the top of one of the chimney tops. We're not up on the main one, but we're up high enough.
Hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Well, friends, we finally made the summit. I'm holding this camera with both hands because my microphone here, it just totally broke off. So I sacrificed something for this hike, but you can probably still hear me just fine. Although I don't know if you've been able to hear me out there. It was incredibly windy, but it's incredibly beautiful. The 360-degree views. I only got one time lapse. We couldn't spend a lot of time up there because, I mean, we just couldn't. It's cold, it's windy, and we got to get back and find Rachel and Will. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay tuned to see what we do next week. You'll notice our West Virginia RV camping playlist. The name has been changed to add RV camping and adventures, and that is because of where we're going next. So we will see you there. Thanks for watching.